Welcome back. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating leaks about the iPhone 17 Pro. If these reports are true, this phone may not just be an upgrade. It may represent a complete rethink of how Apple designs its flagship. We are looking at here isn't another small tweak to camera lenses, or a new color finish, or some marketing trick. Something much bigger, a structural change, shift in philosophy. And it all starts with one bold decision, moving away from the layered glass and titanium combo we have been seeing, and instead, building the iPhone 17 Pro around a single, precision-milled block of aluminum. Now, at first glance, that may sound like a downgrade. Titanium has been marketed as the king of premium materials. Strong, light, and it gave Apple a lot of headlines when it was introduced. But aluminum brings its own set of advantages, and those advantages could change the game for Apple in a way that titanium never could. Because this is not just about what the phone feels like in your hand. This is about durability, efficiency, sustainability, and performance. So let's break this down step by step. Apple's current approach to design is all about layers. You have a frame, you have a back panel, and then you have the separate camera housing glued or mounted on top. Each layer requires assembly. Each layer adds thickness. Each layer takes up internal space that could be used for something else. What the leaks are telling us is that Apple wants to throw this system out the window. Instead of stacking parts, the company wants to carve everything out of one solid piece of recycled aluminum. Back, frame, and even the camera bump one. Continuous unibody design. Think about what that means. No seams where dirt can collect. No glue lines that weaken over time. No flex between layers that could make the device fragile. Just one piece of metal, engineered down to the millimeter. It's cleaner, stronger, and it's potentially lighter. That's why this leak is so intriguing. Because if Apple really goes down this path, it won't just be a cosmetic redesign. It will have real-world benefits, and here's where it gets even more interesting. The integrated camera bump. For years, the camera bump has been a sore spot, literally and figuratively. It sticks out, it collects scratches, it makes the phone wobble on flat surfaces. But Apple is said to be milling the bump directly into the unibody itself. It means no separate housing, no glued-on module. The lenses will be set into the same block of aluminum as the back and the sides. The result? Stronger structure, fewer weak points, and more efficient use of space inside the phone. Now, why does space matter? Because every cubic millimeter counts. By eliminating the separate bump in its support structure, Apple frees up internal volume that could be used for bigger batteries, more advanced cooling systems, or even new camera technologies like periscope, zoom. That is not a small win. That is a major gain in engineering flexibility. But there's another layer to this story: antennas. According to reports, the iPhone 17 Pro may feature antenna bands that wrap fully around the camera bump rather than sitting only on the edges of the frame. At first, that might sound like a design quirk, but it's actually a brilliant move. By creating a continuous loop of antenna around the raised module, Apple can provide a larger surface area for signal transmission. So that means stronger connections, fewer dropouts, and more stable performance across 5G, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. If you think about it, Apple already tested this concept with the Apple Watch Ultra. That watch had to deal with limited space, rugged design, and high-performance demands. Wrapping the antenna around the body was the solution. Scaling that approach up to the iPhone just makes sense. And in today's world, where we rely on wireless connections for everything, a cuter, stronger antenna path could be one of the most practical improvements Apple has made in years. Now let's talk about materials again. Why aluminum? Isn't titanium stronger? Yes, titanium has incredible strength-to-weight ratios, but it's also harder to machine, harder to recycle, and harder to shape into complex designs. Aluminum, on the other hand, is more flexible for manufacturers. Apple can mill it more easily, shape it into precise curves, and recycle it at scale. And here's the key: Apple has been heavily pushing its environmental commitments. Grade recycled aluminum fits neatly into that narrative. It gives Apple a design that's both eco-friendly and practical for mass production. Another point: thermal performance. Aluminum conducts heat better than titanium. That's a fact. Titanium is strong, but it's not great at moving heat away from hotspots. Aluminum is far better at this. And if Apple is preparing to push the limits of its A19 Bionic chip and GPU for gaming, video editing, and AI tasks, heat management is critical. By using aluminum as a unibody shell, the phone itself becomes part of the cooling system, spreading and dissipating heat more effectively. That could reduce throttling, improve sustained performance, and make the phone feel cooler in your hand. During heavy use, and there's more, leaked photos from the factory floor seem to support this story. In one blurred image, aluminum shavings can be seen near milling machines, alongside chassis parts shaped exactly like an iPhone. You can even spot stepped lens cutouts and an inset MagSafe ring. These are details that would be hard to fake. And when you add the wraparound antenna groove into the mix, the evidence gets even stronger. This brings us to one of the most exciting possibilities: reverse wireless charging. For years, people have been asking why the iPhone can't wirelessly charge other devices. It's like AirPods or an Apple Watch. With this new design, it could finally be possible. The unibody structure, combined with strategically placed glass charging windows, may allow Apple to deliver efficient reverse wireless charging without overheating issues. That's speculation for now, but the design makes it more feasible than ever before. All of this paints a clear picture. If the leaks are true, the iPhone 17 Pro will not just be another yearly refresh. It will be a landmark design, not flashy, not gimmicky, but functional, minimalist, industrial, driven by engineering needs rather than marketing gloss. A phone that puts strength, efficiency, and sustainability first. And in doing so, it may redefine what premium means in the smartphone world. Let's sum up the key points so far. 1. A precision-milled recycled aluminum unibody, merging back, sides, and camera bump into one piece. 2. Wraparound antenna bands for stronger and cleaner signal reception. 3. Improved thermal performance thanks to aluminum's conductivity. 4. More internal space for larger batteries and advanced camera hardware. 5. Eco-friendly materials that align with Apple's sustainability goals. And 6. Potential for new features like reverse wireless charging. If all of this comes together, the iPhone 17 Pro could mark the biggest physical design shift since the iPhone X removed the home button. It's not about curves or colors. It's about structure and purpose. That's what makes this leak so exciting. Apple might finally be moving past decorative design and into a new era of functional minimalism.